The New York Rangers will definitely be looking to make some moves before this year's NHL trade deadline, as they are one of the top teams in the entire NHL, and they are the current top team in the Metropolitan Division as well. So this team will definitely be looking to make some moves, try and upgrade this team and make them a lot better and give them obviously a much better chance to potentially win a Stanley Cup, which is obviously the ultimate end goal for this team. So let's take a look here at one target the Rangers could be going after from the Seattle Kraken, Yanni Gourde. Now, the Rangers have been linked to him by The Athletic, and they basically said that the Rangers have inquired about both Yanni Gourde and Alex Wennberg, who I also already have made a video on. So if you want to go check that out, you definitely can. It is already up on the channel. But getting back to Yanni Gourde here, I mean, he's a great player. He really is. He's won 2 Stanley Cups already with the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's not some elite, overall player, but he's definitely a very good kind of second, third line kind of guy. On this Rangers team would obviously come in and be that third line center. And I definitely think that we could look to kind of upgrade that spot. And I know a lot of Rangers fans, myself included, like Johnny Brodzinski a lot, but I still think there is definitely a reason why you would obviously want to kind of upgrade that third line center spot to kind of add in some more depth there. And if you're putting in a guy like Yanni Gourde as that third line center, you're now pushing back a guy like Brodzinski, who's been doing a great job on that third line, and now he's on that fourth line, right? So I think that just kind of adds a lot more depth. Then if another injury happens, obviously, knock on wood, we don't want to see that happen, but if that does happen, then you have more depth there in a guy like Yanni Gourde. I think it makes a lot of sense, especially come playoff time. Bringing in an experienced guy like this who's been there, done that, compared to a guy like Johnny Brodzinski who hasn't done a whole lot in the playoffs really at the NHL level, I think makes a lot of sense to bring in a guy like Gourde here. So obviously, Brodzinski is a fine player, and I'm more than happy with him on this team. But I think him in that fourth line kind of role there makes a lot more sense and would be better off for this team going forward, and especially come playoff time as well. And taking a look here at his stats from this season so far, with the Seattle Kraken, Yanni Gourde has 54 games played, 7 goals, 14 assists, 21 points. He's a -5. Not having the best year offensively, but he does have 7 of his 7 goals at even strength and 13 of his 14 assists at even strength as well. So there's obviously some positives there. That 20 out of his 21 points this season have been at even strength. That's a good sign there. Obviously, most of his points are coming at 5-on-5, which is what you want to see. There's not some power play merchant who's getting most of his points there, which is definitely nice, but he's not having the best year offensively. You take a look at his previous couple seasons there with the Kraken. Last year had 81 games played, 48 points. The previous season had 74 games played, 48 points again. And then the previous year with the Tampa Bay Lightning, his last year there with the Lightning, had 56 games played, 36 points. So the last 3 years, not counting this season, he has been producing at a very good level for a second, third line kind of guy. But I do think this year, obviously, him having a down year means his value is going to be a bit lower than it normally would have been. So maybe the Rangers can come in and kind of pick him up on the cheap end of things and be able to go out there and still acquire a top line or, top 6 right winger as well. That's definitely a possibility. But taking a look here at what he's done in the playoffs so far over his entire career. Last season with the Kraken had 14 games played, 4 goals, 9 assists, 13 points. The Kraken's first ever, playoff experience there. He did a great job with them. So that is very nice to see, almost at a point per game. Then when he won his second Stanley Cup with the Lightning in 2020, 2021, he had 23 games played there, 6 goals, 1 assist, 7 points. Not too bad at all. And in 1920, when he won his first Stanley Cup with the Lightning, he had 25 games played there, 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 points. Did a pretty good job there as well. So, over his entire career in the playoffs, he has been pretty good. He has a total of 83 playoff games played, has 20 goals, 22 assists, 42 points. That's pretty good there. Over a .5 points per game in the playoffs. That is definitely what you want to see out of a second, third line kind of guy who can play a pretty good two-way game. Not too bad there. He is a pretty good overall player and definitely can get the job done in the playoffs when it matters most. And although Yanni Gourde is only 5'9", he is still a pretty physical player. This season so far has 96 hits. Last year finished with 118. Year before that, 77. So he has been a pretty physical player over his entire career. Even though for a smaller guy, 5'9", he is still able to kind of throw the body around a bit there, which is nice. He also has 30 block shots this season, 42 takeaways, 18 giveaways, and only 5 defensive zone giveaways. So not too bad there. He's a pretty good overall center. I mean, can definitely be a block a shot here and there, play a physical game, even though he is 5'9", which is obviously what you want to see. The faceoffs are not too bad. I mean, 47.6 this year, kind of down on what he's been over the past while. I mean, it is his worst, percentage actually since 2017 on the faceoff. So hopefully if he comes to the Rangers, he can obviously kind of turn that around there. But still not too bad. Last year at 49.7, the year before that at 49.5, year before that at 48.5. So obviously a bit down compared to normal, but still not too bad overall. I mean, I think he's just a really good all-around kind of center. Would be a great, third line center for the Rangers here, kind of pushing Brodzinski back to that fourth line. And taking a look here at Yanni Gourde's contract and kind of how a deal could potentially go down. Now, I don't necessarily think this is the best fit for this kind of reason here, is the fact that, as a player, I think Yanni Gourde is a great fit for the Rangers here, yes. But with his contract right now as it stands, having another year left, next season as well, with a cap hit of $5.166 million, the Rangers are going to want to make more than one move, I'd imagine, this year's trade deadline, adding in a right winger at least. I mean, if they're only going to make one move, I'm going to imagine it's going to be a right winger. So adding in Yanni Gourde here would be kind of difficult if obviously they're not going to retain any money. So I don't necessarily think it's going to happen unless the Kraken would be willing to retain at least a decent amount of the money, at least like 20, 30, 40%, like a bit of a chunk of it. Obviously, you can only retain up to 50%. But a guy like Yanni Gourde, he'd have to be retained by at least a bit there. Otherwise, I don't think this makes any sense for the Rangers. And then the other side of things, though, if they are retaining some money, because he has next year left on his deal, it's going to cost a lot of stuff to get him. So even though his value is already kind of on the lower end of things than normal, than last year, the year before that, it's still going to cost a decent amount because they would be retaining some money for an extra season as well. So it might not be the best fit for the Rangers. Obviously, on paper, looking at the stats and as the player himself, I think it works out well. But with this contract right now, I just don't think it's the best fit, and I don't think it's going to happen. But if it does, I will be happy. I think Yanni Gourde would be a great pickup for the Rangers here. But like I said, I just don't think it's the perfect fit with his contract as it stands right now. But either way, though, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please smash the like button. Don't forget to comment down below your guys' thoughts on Yanni Gourde potentially getting traded here to the Rangers. And also don't forget to subscribe for daily New York Rangers content as I do post every single day. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.